Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to miss this intro and you want to listen to all of it because free crystals. But first, disclaimer, this is a support tier list, so all I'm going to ask is I really do love all of your opinions and I really do value them, but let's not make it aggressive towards me or other commenters. I love to hear your opinions, but let's not be mean about it. So I brought up free crystals at the start and I wasn't kidding. Now they're free, but you do have to submit something. So we are going to start a weekly challenge series on this YouTube channel. Every Saturday's video, I am going to announce a challenge for you all to do and submit clips, which down below, you're going to see a clip submission format, which has got more details and how to send the email and where to send the email. But every Saturday, we are going to announce a challenge and you have till Friday of that week at 6 p.m. EST or EDT in a few hours, give or take, because not everybody uses daylight savings time, to submit said clip. Then on Sunday of that week, the clip will be shown and the crystals will be given out. So this week's challenge will be get a triple kill with Furia. That's it. The best 2 clips will get 200 crystals each. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this series. Let me know down in the comments if you like this idea, and let's get to playing Furia and see if we can get some good triple kills to show in the videos. But question of the day, what are your top 3 favorite supports? What do you like to play and what do you think is good right now? And if you want to buy crystals yourself and you didn't make the challenge for the week, be sure to check out my nexus.gg where I get part of the share of what you pay. Now, Nexus works directly with Evil Mojo, so completely legitimate. It is a great website to use and supports this channel and keeps it running. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I know this has been a long intro, but free crystals, am I right? I love you all, and I'll see you in the video. Okay, so there's a probability that I am going to change the tiers of these champions as I go, because I have not put any thought into like placing them yet. So just know that. Also, I want to move Lilith to the back. All right, Corvus. I think Corvus is overrated. Just so you know, with the tier list, like it's kind of like S is OP, A is like very good in the meta, B is like they're meta, C is like they're viable, they're pretty balanced, and then you get downhill from there. Then you go D, like not really viable. D is really like not meta at all. E is just pretty bad. F is like don't play them. So yeah, all right, let's get into this. Corvus. I think Corvus is overrated. Terrible champion. Well, not terrible. Okay, sorry. He's not terrible. Corvus isn't terrible. I think he's good, but he's really not good in this meta. I think he's overrated and should not be banned and rarely picked. I think he's C tier. I don't think he's like anything overpowered. I don't think he's anything underpowered. He's really just doesn't work well in this meta. He doesn't do well in this meta. It's as simple as that. And there are better supports you can be playing for Corvus. So we're going to put Corvus in C. I don't think he's that good. I think he is hard overrated. Another thing is, this isn't going to be all main healers. This is also going to be their off support potential. So I will raise champions based on that. But if I do, I will say so. So for instance, Grok, I'm going to skip Furia because I talked about that. Grok, not very good as like a main healer, but in a double support comp, he does well. And he's kind of broken with Totemic. So right now I'm going to put him at A because in ranked meta in like higher tiers, he's actually overperforming with Totemic as an off support. I saw like he has like 500 matches on Realm stats or something, and he had a 60% win rate with Totemic, and that's mainly because of his off support power, because how much damage he does, how much healing he does with his ultimate. Grok is very strong as an off support, so I'm going to keep him in A, but as a solo healer, he doesn't do well. But again, because he's that strong as 2 supports, keep him A. Furia, I've been like playing around Furia in my head. But because I think Furia is a good solo support, I'm gonna maybe readjust Furia later, but I'm gonna put her at A for now and possibly maybe drop Grok to B. Because Furia is on a different level. I might add an SS tier because like Furia is a weird one. She's really strong right now as a solo healer and as a 2 healer. And double support meta, Furia excels. And as a solo support, she also excels. The only thing she's lacking is early game pressure and early game potential. Her potential comes mid to late game. but in double support, she's broken. And her ult is by far the best in the game. Like, unbelievably the best ultimate in the game. And unlike, you can't, it's not a debate. Her ult is the best in the game. So I think maybe for that reason she goes in S, but for now we're gonna keep her to A. But she might go S. I'm not sure. She's really, really strong. Okay, Grover. Grover deep roots should be removed. I don't think it's like, I don't think it should be in the game. Fury Soul Heal. Yeah, I never said that. Like that, it doesn't. It falls off hard late game, just like every other support, right? But she gets better late game because she brings damage and an ultimate that's uncounterable, right? Grover deep roots. It needs to be removed. I don't think it's healthy for the game. At all. I don't think it's healthy for the game at all. And it's not good. He needs that talent reworked or heavily nerfed into unusability. Until then, he's going to be A. His ultimate also makes him completely overpowered because you can cancel his ult. I like that you can cancel his ult, but it really increases his power level. Like, he'd probably be B tier without it. And Vine Bug. Like, not Vine Bug, Vine Tech. Vine Tech makes Grover absolutely a monster because Grover's whole spiel is he's got to be close to his teammates to heal. He's got to be close to his teammates to heal. Okay. And the fact that he can just cross the map to get to said teammates and to get away from said situations when he's too close to his team makes him really freaking good. So yeah, Grover A. Io. I might be in a small boat on this one, but I think Io is the best support in the game right now. And I don't think there's, in my head, no contest that she's probably the only S tier support. I think it's, no, I wouldn't say no contest. Like, Grover and Furia are close. I think, actually, I might do this for now. I think this makes more sense, to be honest. But yeah, Io's S. Io is really good right now. And one thing that makes her so good is the simple fact that you do not have to buy Chronos. And in a Veteran Haven meta on a support, when you can buy Veteran and Haven off the rip and buy Nimble, that is an unbelievable advantage that like takes her into a whole nother level. Because when you build the health build, which you should be on IO, you should be running health 5 on IO. You run Veteran Haven off the start and you're just tanky. Plus running lifelink every game, you are unkillable. It is impossible to flank IO. If you've ever tried to flank IO, you know it is impossible. You have her having 2,800 health with Veteran 3. You have Luna, which she stands inside and she just hides in, and that's another 3k plus health for you to burn through. She is getting self-sustained from healing Luna, and Luna is just healing her outright. You do not kill Io. It is impossible, and she has immunity ult in case you even get her low. Yeah. And Luna is constantly doing damage, which I don't think the damage is anything overwhelming. I don't think it's like is the problem, but it's nice. And she has a stun. Like, she brings kind of everything to the table. She doesn't have that much utility outright to the team, but in like the sustain meta, like Veteran Haven meta, high HPS is valuable. And she brings that as well, but she's just unkillable right now. She is the best way to say it is she is a double support without double support, because she just does the role of a double support because of Luna and because of lifelink. And then you can have another DPS rather than 2 supports, so you have the damage. But yeah, that's the other biggest thing is like, because you don't have to buy Chronos, you can buy Veteran and Haven, you can output unreal amount of damage because you feel safe to. And because the way her heal works is you can cancel it and use it at any time, you have time to do damage, unlike another character later on this list who wears a blindfold. Yeah, IO S tier. I might be in a boat alone on this one, but I think she's overpowered right now. Now, yeah, she definitely does need a nerf. She needs to see a slight nerf. Genos. Oh god, Genos. Okay, so I think Genos is a worse Corvus, but I don't think he's bad. I don't see a reason to play Genos, though, with Corvus in the game. The one reason why you play Genos is for his ultimate. His ultimate is very, very strong until you get Veteran and Haven meta. 2,400 damage to DPS and flanks that can have over 2,300, 2,400 plus DR from Haven. He doesn't hold up well and probably should have his ultimate buff to 2,600. Or add some utility to it, like instantly kill shields, like they did the Lex ult, which made Lex way more viable. Genos, I don't think he's bad, though, on the baseline level. Like, baseline without his ultimate, not taking that into consideration, I think he's pretty solid after playing him a little bit right now. He does good healing, and he kind of fills that role, but he's just the worst Corvus, but I don't think he's, like, garbage tier. So I'm going to put him D. I don't think he's garbage. I just don't see a reason to play him. And that's kind of where D starts to move into. It's like, he's good, but like there's no reason to play him. But yeah, poor Genos. Damba, we have done some testing on Damba, and we've been playing around with the health build, and I think it helps Damba's viability because it allows you to play way more aggressive because you have possession, your DR, plus you play health. A health build plus possession, you actually have a ton of health and damage reduction, effective HP, EHP, or effective HP, and you can sustain through fights, and you can do a lot of damage on certain maps. His autos are hard to hit, so it's hard to output that damage, and on long range maps, you're not getting the value from the damage, so it makes him worse. But on shorter range maps, he gets more value because you can output more damage and hit more stuns. But with that all being said, Damba's gimmick is he brings a lot of crowd control. He brings a stun, he brings a fear. The fact that you do not have to buy resilience anymore is a problem. Or sorry, cauterize. And you can buy resilience now so easily. It's so accessible that it hurts Damba's viability in the meta. So everything combined, I think he's a solid C. I don't think you're like throwing if you pick Damba. I think he's still a solid champion. He's still like the best designed champion in Paladins, like without a doubt in my mind. But he's not really meta. He's not. There's no reason not to play him like Genos. Like you can still play him and win. He's just not really meta. He's just viable right now. Pip is always a weird one. Pip is always a weird one for me because I think Combat Medic is the best healing talent in the game. It is also undeniably the hardest one to play in the game. So like if you're like a Combat Medic, like my Combat Medic Pip, S tier, easily. If you're like everyone else in the game, all you plebs, I would probably say like C tier with Combat Medic. And it like scales up. Pip goes up in this list. Like baseline Combat Medic is really good. Like you learned a little bit, you're about C tier, but as you like become more proficient, you're going to like take off with him. I think Pip is underrated and underused right now with Combat Medic, and I don't think enough people are practicing it. I think it's really good and it's just actually underused. So I'm gonna put him C tier. I feel like there is a debate to put him D, even E tier, but because of the potential I can see in Combat Medic, I would not suggest Pip for ranked. If you're just learning Combat Medic, I would play casuals and learn Combat Medic, the ins and outs of when to use your autos, when to use your healing pots, your ultimate, your jumps, how to slow auto. Learn that stuff, learn what maps are good for him, and then take it into ranked. I'm not endorsing playing Pip, but yeah. Okay, next, Ray. Okay, so I need to add an asterisk here, right? Need to add an asterisk. Very important asterisk. Ray on Bazaar is S tier. Ray on every other map is meh. A solid meh. I think she's okay, but the only thing that keeps her viable right now is her potential in certain double support comps. I think she's a really fun character to play. Very fun character to play. And she's actually really good in double support comps with Furia and Grok because of focus and the way it increases ult charge. Furia and Grok ults are, again, Furia is the best ultimate in the game. There's no argument on that one. And if you pair a Ray and a Furia, which I will have a video coming out pretty soon of a Ray Furia, which Andrew Chicken already posted, combo that we did, it's overpowered. Like, it's really, really good. So with that all being said, Bazaar S, and then overall, I'd put her C tier. I don't think she's like bad. There are definitely like situations where you play Ray, and there's definitely situations that you don't. Because she does kind of struggle depending on the map. But Ray Bazaar, S. Everything else, C tier. Because if you don't know the issue on Ray and Bazaar, her heals go through every wall on that map. Every single wall her heals go through. It's broken. Like literal broken. Like not just like clickbait, like, oh, Ray is broken right now. Click my video. Right, she's literally broken on Bazaar. You know what I mean? All right, Saris. So Saris was changed in the recent patch, and I think it was a very healthy change for the overall health of Saris and her viability in the meta. But we're running into an issue where there are just better picks right now than her. And I have a grasp on Agony, and it doesn't work how it says, but it's actually pretty solid. And her stun is okay. I think at 4 stacks, it's really hard to consistently get stuns. But she's overall more healthy. She's in a better spot than she was, and she is viable. You can pick Saris, and it's really not a throw pick anymore because of her ultimate change and her stun change. Her ult became way more viable, and she has utility. 2 of the like 3 or 4 issues I had with her before, which other ones being she can't heal and do damage. She can't control really like her heal, kind of like Io. She just doesn't do enough damage. I don't know. I'll put Sarah C for now. Again, there's like a debate in my mind that she could be B, but she could also be D. She's like, I'm not sure where to put her. I put her C for now though, because she is viable. She definitely is viable, but she's not meta. She's not meta at all. Okay, Ying. I was talking about Ying earlier. It's really sad. Ying makes me really sad because I love Ying. I really do love Ying. But she's not that good right now at all. There are other characters that does what she does, but better. And actually, the final champion we'll talk about, which is Lilith, is just a better Ying. So is Io. They kind of do exactly what Ying wants to do, but better, especially Lilith. The only thing Ying has on Lilith is range on Life Exchange. I do not see a reason to pick Ying right now. I don't think she does enough healing for being a heal bot. I was talking about this earlier on stream. If you're gonna have a heal bot champion, they need to be doing more heals than champions that rely on utility like Grover. It is an inherent balance issue that a champion like Grover, who focuses on their utility, can baseline do more healing when they are like actually hitting the right clicks. Grover will do more healing than Ying. Ying is a heal bot. She should be inherently doing more healing, but sacrificing, giving your team movement speed, giving your team cripples and roots, right? That's the problem with Ying right now. She just doesn't do enough healing because that's her literal job. Like, she needs to be doing more healing. She doesn't do enough right now. Ying is D tier, right with Genos. I do not see a reason to play Ying. Like, you should just play other things. There are other things to be playing. If you wanted a heal bot and you wanted to play the role of Ying, there's no reason to be playing Ying. Honestly, I think even like Damo does more healing than Ying, and he brings utility. And like, yeah, there really needs to be some balance changes on Ying. I like her, but that's unfortunate. I think she has some weird potentials for damage support. But it's not really been shown, and there's really no one out there who's really like leading the way for that and really like pushing for it in like high level ranked. So like once I start seeing that viability at like super high levels, I just don't see it. I can't do it. Sorry, Ying. Lilith. Okay, so I'm not really gonna place Lilith like legitimately because she's not in ranked right now. I have played some Lilith. And I've played actually a good amount, like 20 levels between PTS and live. So I have a good grasp on her. She is kind of what Ying should be, a heal bot that does a lot of healing, right? It's wild, right? It's wild. That's a weird concept. I know. Weird concept. But Lilith is honestly just a better Ying, which is hilarious. So if I had to place Lilith on this tier list right now, I would say she's a bit on the stronger end. I think her ultimate is really, really good. She is very hard to kill. And if you're properly using your blood mark or blood hex to get yourself self-sustain, then you don't take damage and like you don't lose a lot of health for using your swarm. Now, I will be releasing a Lilith guide come the next week, within like probably a week or two, explaining like how to use your blood hex, how to min-max your self-sustain, because she is a harder champion to play. If I were to place her right now, I would say B. I don't think she's that overpowered, but I'm curious to see how she develops. I want to see more of her being played, more builds, more interesting things, etc. But yeah. I think B is a good spot for her. Okay, look over this tier list. So I think Io's fair, Grover Furia. Yeah, honestly, I think these are really well placed. I'm not gonna like overthink these because it's just like it feels bad, man, for the D tier. Because I actually think most of the supports are pretty good right now. I think you could technically play Genos and Ying and win. That's why like they're not E or F tier. Because before, I had Saris at F tier. If you pick Saris, you were actively throwing the game. If you are picking Genos or Ying, you can win the game still pretty easily. It isn't that big of a deal, but there are still better champions to be picking that fulfill their roles. They have a role, and there's better ones doing that role, so they're D tier. I think that's a fair placement for those two, honestly. And yeah, so the rest, you guys need to just, okay, Khan, why? Like Rom, you're all dumb. You're all dumb for wanting me to do this if I don't do every single one, every tier list, you're gonna be blah, 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 whatever. Guys, E. Actually, I actually think that's fair. I think it's like an off support. I think that's fair. I think you could actually justify putting her at E. I agree with Thunder. I agree with you, Thunder. I could justify putting her at E. But yeah, rank support tier list right now, updated for season 5. Now there are patch notes soon, so I might have to redo some of this or like cut in at one point and just say, hey, you know, this is completely changed and this is where this champion's gonna go. But I think I don't see this patch like, I don't know, like I don't see this patch like changing this tier list much at all. But yeah, this is where rank supports are right now, to be honest. Isn't patch tomorrow? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what this patch does, if this changes this tier list at all. But like, there's gonna be a month between the patch and the new before it releases. So like, this tier list will come out like the month before, and then I could do like a speculative tier list afterwards. Let me compare new and old screenshot. So the old tier list on the left, the near 2 tier list is on the right. If you want like to see like a interesting comparison.